Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, it's me. Yeah, Fearless Floyd. Imagine that. I know, scary sometimes. All right, today is Tuesday, September 27th, 2022. And 3 days after the end of the world, according to whatever was supposed to happen on the 24th. Absolutely. So anyway, guess where we're at, kids? We are on part 11. Ann LeFlore on trust. Here we come. She'll be on here in a minute. Let's see. I'm on Telegram, the Fearless Floyd Show. Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, the fearlessfloydshow.com. Go check me out there. A lot of hopefully that becomes a hub of everything. I'm really trying. Let's see. Like the video, like me, like my guest, like topic, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. Leave a comment below. The links to the previous 10 videos will be in the description below. You can click on those and start from the beginning, or you can jump around and be even more confused. All right. And with that, I don't see Ann coming on, so I'm going to pause. And then magically, Ann's going to appear, and we're going to go on with part 11, Ann LeFlore on trust. And pow, there she is, just like that. I told you.
Oh my goodness, you guys, here I am again. Hi.
Next time I'm going to say like a little spell before I pause it. Like boom, and then you like appear right up.
Like abracadabra, where is she?
Right.
Learn from the islands, and here I see.
Here. That'll be funny. Okay, so Ann and I have had a discussion, and this is what we currently have out on the horizon. There's a $199 package. This is 4 weekends, but I think what we've decided to do, correct, is do this on 10/8, 10/9, 10/15, 10/16, and then we'll do another set of classes on 10/22, 23, and 10/29, 10/30, correct? So this will be class.
Sounds wonderful to me.
This will be B class, and this will be the C class.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. I'll work out the, yeah, we can do those dates. That'd be nice. Okay. Anyway, this is the text.
Yeah, the weekends seem to be better for more people because then we can get done, get in and get out. They have, it's their afternoon, which is early my morning for me. So it just works out good. Then I have my whole afternoon. So I like the time. I do.
Okay. Yep. I get it. All right, kids. We're ready to dive in. Yeah, here we go. Ann LeFlore on trusts, part 11. Understanding the different parts of a trust, panel 1. Moving on to panel 2. The trust corpus, corpus being Latin for body. The body of the trust is called a corpus. This is the property inside the trust that is being held for the beneficiaries. Here we create our declaration and include the subject matter of the trust. Virtually anything can be held inside our trust. When express trusts were created, their primary function was to hold real estate inside a trust. Ann?
Okay, so basically what we're talking about is res. We keep talking about the res of the trust. This is anything can be put inside the trust. We can move our furniture inside of the trust as long as we put it in our schedules, Schedule A and whatever. This is part of the trust. And the beneficiaries are the ones we leave everything behind when we're dead. And I guess this is why they call it the corpus of the trust, because when we're not here, it's our dead corpus. No, I'm joking. But it's what it seems like. They always call it the trust corpus. That means they're already considered as dead when they name this. So I don't really consider myself a corp right now, or I'm creating a corpus of myself. What I'm doing is I'm creating my legacy. This is the way I like to look at it.
You're doing what with your legacy?
I'm creating my legacy.
Creating. Okay. Yeah. There's
Always a creation.
right.
Yes.
Little tip, y'all can remember RES. RES. It's in Express. All right, moving on to panel 3. Express trust relationships derive between the law and the land. The fundamental principle of the law is that the law and the land go hand in hand. If we remove the 14th Amendment from the Constitution, we would see the law of the land is the Constitution with all of its common law principles. Gold and silver is referred to as precious metals and regarded in law as portable land. The basic principles of law state that all land includes everything of value extracted from it. Ann, got anything for that?
So basically, we have to understand, if we get into trust and we get into equity, we are the highest law. So that's like we're the law of the air. And the law of the land is because we are part land and part water. So we make up everything. So anything that we extract from the law, the land, or we create from the land, or we produce from the land is all considered the law of the land and the law of trust.
Okay. Moving on to panel 4. Today, we are faced with extraordinary legal circumstances whose imposition was made possible by the loss of the gold standard in 1933. We're faced with extraordinary legal circumstances whose imposition to all right, there we go. That French sometimes crossing the road. In the court of law, we are considered a statutory entity and are accountable to the courts of civil legislative jurisdiction. This is derived from the jurisdiction that comes from the corporate charter. The legislature holds an in rem jurisdiction by the possession of the charter documents. The express trust is accountable to the courts of common law and equity. The courts obtain their jurisdiction from the trust instrument and corpus. All right, you're gonna have to dive into that one. That's got a lot of meat to it.
No, yeah, you're freezing. Yeah, you're freezing up.
Oh,
I think you need to read that again. You kind of froze up. Yeah, you froze up on us.
Right. It records it correctly, but I'll do it again. Today, we are faced with extraordinary legal circumstances due to.
Okay. Sounds good. No, it's okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm having some reason Wi-Fi today is just not having its best day. I've been going through this all day. So anyway, that concludes this panel. There's a lot of meat on this panel. Would you like to go through this and kind of explain? I guess I froze.
Okay, so we do know that trusts have always been with us since the very beginning. Trusts were created from the very beginning when the earth was seeded, when Adam and Eve came down here. The very first trust was created between the creator and the beneficiaries, who were the beneficiaries of the land. And then from us being beneficiaries of the land, we became the trustees of the land to take care of the land when we had our own children, and then our children became the beneficiaries of the land. And it's been going on like this forever and ever until around 1933, when they decided they wanted to change this. And they decided that they were going to take all of the normal trust and they were going to create a different way of handling everything. They were going to remove us as natural persons and create amendments and all kinds of fictitious paperwork so that they could use us as collateral. So this is what we've been fighting since around 1933. We are the collateral for the US government. But once, I don't want to get too much into, government law and everything else, but we do know that in these acts and amendments, it does state that the government is responsible for their debts and they have to give the credits back to us for their debts. So we just have to learn how all of this works, how the trust works, how we can recover our credits so that the debt on the debt side can be paid off. So remember, every time there's a debt, there's a credit. So we're only seeing the debts, however much is over here on this debt side. Where are our credits? Our credits are held with the government. The government is profiting on our credits. So we are going to learn how to run trust where we can recover our credits and put them on the debt. And this lowers our credits, but it also pays off the debt. So we will gain more credits because credits are interest, and interest is built on us and our physical bodies and what we do. So it's everything we contribute, we gain from it. So this is how it works. It's an even exchange.
Okay.
Did we lose the document?
No, that's 4 right there. That's where we're at. This is 5. The REM jurisdiction remains.
Okay.
The REM jurisdiction remains with the trustee at all times, unless the trust instrument and corpus are surrendered to a third party voluntarily. The REM jurisdiction is the key to solving all our issues in the public courts with loans and running our daily lives. Today, an express trust under common law that is holding real estate, silver, gold, or gold is actually holding the substance of the law under which it was first created. The express trust ensures us that bond between the law and the land. This includes all the powers and guarantees that come with it. So is that all the powers and guarantees of the trust?
Yeah, see, the whole thing is, as a grantor, we move everything that we want into our trust.
Right.
So, and all of our trusts, we can create multiple layers. So we assign our trustee, which is going to be us, because we trust us more than anybody else to take care of all of this. And this is where it's called REM jurisdiction. It gives us the power, using trust in the private, to work in the public, to literally pay off our debts, handle anything in court cases, handle foreclosures, tickets, whatever we're going to handle in the public using private credit and private debt.
Okay.
Not all these people work on literally commercial paper. So we create our own commercial paper when it's coming to trust, and we take care of our debt through the commercial paper, because then they turn around and they use the commercial paper to buy it up and trade it and sell it on the stock market to make money off of it.
Right.
It's a scheme.
No. Why would you say something like that in public?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. Because I guess it's finally time people heard the truth instead of just hiding it from everybody.
Right. Okay. Well, that sounds like a reasonable reason. All right, panel six.
I was always taught not to lie. I was always taught to tell the truth. So
Here you
I'm
go.
just telling the truth.
All right, I get it. All right, certificates. Do you realize that any trust may divide its trust property into shares and issue certificates? The express trust we create has the power to issue certificates, bonds, and use an official seal. The natural common law right of any man or woman sui juris has the power to issue transferable shares. That should be shares, right? Plural. Limit,
Yeah, shares limits,
right? Limit the liability.
limit the liability.
Use an official seal, make bylaws, purchase lands and chattels. Woohoo, slaves.
Okay, so this is one thing that everybody's, really wondering about. An express trust is actually what all these corporations are basically using. All these, billionaires and stuff like that. Do you think they're just creating a little tiny revocable trust, irrevocable trust, worrying about their little tiny assets? No, they're not. They're into big money and big corporations. So to get into the privacy and to work like a business or a commercial, these people use express trust. It is one of the most powerful trusts there are. I mean, if you start digging into express trust, which we are digging into right now, and I have more coming up on it, but just wait till you see some of the powers that you have using express trust. You're going to be surprised.
There you go, kids. Surprise, surprise. We're gonna get us some slaves, some chattels. So y'all get prepared. A trustee of an express trust has the
I'm going to do that, but it's not one of the things I'm looking forward to. But I mean, working in it and living in it and dealing with what we need to do with is the best way to go. Leaving some of their stuff behind is even a better way to go.
Oh, don't lie. You told me you were going to get you some cabana boys with some palm fronds and feed you grapes.
I don't really need to go get them. They're all around me.
Okay, they're free. They work for free. All right. Okay.
I mean, geez. I've got tons of them just walking around on the beach all day long. I can go look at.
Right. Shit, right. Yeah. Yeah. Envy you.
I don't need to go hire them or, use them as slaves.
Guess not. Yeah. Free, like all around the streets. Okay. Kind of like money, how you be in the Middle East, like blowing down the street. Negative, worthless.
You know what? I think, I did hear that, coming as the end of this week, you might be actually right about money blowing down the street, especially in Great Britain. The pound is worthless as of Friday. And I think I saw somewhere about $500 and some odd billion dollars worth of pound they have to spend between now and Friday. They might be throwing it down the street pretty soon, guys. Take a look. Who knows?
They have by Friday to exchange the former currency for new currency. They're pulling the paper currency off the streets and replacing it with a polymer. That's what they're doing.
A polymer?
A polymer, yeah. It's like the Vietnamese dong. I don't know if you ever seen a dong note.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
A polymer.
Got it.
Right. That's what they're doing. So after.
Well, the queen's dead, so her currency's dead too, so why would we want to keep holding onto the queen's currency?
Because Charles told us to.
Ooh.
King Charles, that guy. All right.
Who has a leaky pen and doesn't even know how to sign his name. That one? Okay, got it.
One who looks like Vlad the Impaler. A trustee of an express trust has the power, if provided in the trust, to issue certificates not only of beneficial interest, but also of capital interest. And I'm sure that got everybody's capital interest right there in that little statement. Beneficial interest in a trust is held by the beneficiaries of the trust, who are entitled to a certain proportional share of the trust assets during the life of the trust or at the termination of the trust. Capital interest is held by an exchanger or a person who has invested property into the trust. This allows them to be entitled to a certain proportional share of any profits and assets remaining at the close of the trust. All right, got anything to add to those?
Okay, guys. Yes, I do. So in a trust, we have 100 shares of capital interest. We also have 100 shares of beneficiary interest. And we get to literally say how much that interest is. So think of it as a stock certificate. One share of stock, which is one beneficiary interest, could be donated at $100,000 for one interest. We can donate it at $500,000 for one share, or we can say it's up to 1 million for one share. We'll have ledgers and we record this. So at the end of the trust, or the end of the life of the trust, or the beneficiary or the trustee and grantor are no longer with us, then these people, when they, because I'm going to need a new trustee to step in, or a grant, an executor to distribute the funds, they'll be able to start, turning in their stock certificates to recover their benefits of the trust. It's just their way of holding on to their benefits and stuff like that.
Okay.
And you can also use those benefits and those certificates to pay off debt and to use it to do other things with it. So it's got quite a bit of things you can use with those certificates.
Okay. There we go. Panel 8. The terms and provisions of the trust instrument will control the manner in which beneficiary and capital interest are administered, in which benefits will control the manner in which benefits and capital interest are administered. The trust must define the right.
No, well, okay. It really is beneficiary. Yeah, it really is beneficiary interest, because that's what the certificate is. It's a beneficiary interest certificate. And it's a capital interest certificate. And we have to administer the beneficiaries certificates and the capital interest certificates, and we outline how we deal with them inside the trust corpus.
Beneficiary capital interest. Okay.
Yeah, they are beneficiary and capital interest. It is correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a French idiot. It's not a French error. No, it's not a French error.
It's an odd twist on the beneficiaries phrase, but yeah, it works. Just you don't encounter that often. The trust must define the right of all interest holders who will be bound under the trust instrument. If your trust states that the certificate holders have control over the trust property and can administer the trust affairs, this has to be stipulated in the trust agreement. If stipulated, this forms a partnership where the shareholders become liable for the acts of the trust. The basic rule in setting up an express trust is that it stays free from the control of its interest holder.
Okay, so when we're assigning our certificates, we do not want to assign the interests of the trust. We want to control the interests of the trust 100%. So we don't want to give a third party, somebody, a corporation or whoever, controlling interests of our trust, because they can take over and run our trust. This is not how it works. When we assign the certificate, it's for assignment. It's not for becoming, a legal entity inside of our trust. We want to keep everybody out of our trust except the grantor and the trustee to run the trust. The beneficiaries will be outside of the trust, which they receive the benefits. So anything we do, we keep it out, we keep them out of the business of the trust. And we're the only two people, or we're the only ones that are running the trust. Whether it's a revocable trust, irrevocable trust, express trust, or whatever trust it is. So in an irrevocable trust, we do rely on our trustees to run the trust, and we have no say-so in the trust. Revocable trust, express trust, implied trust, we have all the say-so in the trust as we want. And it depends on us how much control we want of the trust.
Okay. All right. Panel 9. If a trust remains free from interest holders in a court of equity, this is known as a control test. Control of the trust must remain or rest with the trustees of the trust in order for it to properly be classified as an express trust. The certificates issued by the trust have no fair market value, and therefore no gain or loss is recognized until the cost or other basis of the property have been disposed of or it has been recovered. Certificates are not necessarily considered as chatters or chattels, right?
Chatters. Nope, it's chatters. That's the legal term they use. I looked it up like 4 times. I'm like,
Chatters?
what the hell is that?
Chatters?
You know,
All right.
yeah, chatters. Really words like chattel, chatters. I mean, they're like, I mean, it's like, I never even heard of some of these words before. But I mean, I'm a chatter. I mean, a chattel too, you know, it's kind of weird.
Huh.
They're all slang English words, I think, or words that they modified recently or whatever.
Okay. All right. Certificates are not necessarily considered as chatters, and you heard that correctly, but as documentary evidence, ownership and intangible rights. They are only personal property and not the actual interest or share itself. The interest in an express trust cannot be traded without the approval of the trustee. This is contrasted with a certificate of stock, which courts have long held may be dealt within the market as a commercial document of value.
So basically what it's saying is we have land inside of our trust, or we want to purchase more land, or we have inherited land or something like this, and we're moving all this into the trust. This gives us certificates and holders. And what we can do is we can issue these like in a court case. Say that we're trying to bond ourselves out of a court case or bond ourselves out of a situation. And we can, if we have a trust, our trust can bond us out by issuing some of these certificates for them to hold until the case is finished. It's like issuing somebody a promissory note. You promise to pay. So when you go buy a house, the bank always wants you to sign that damn promissory note. They always force you to sign that promissory note.
Yeah.
And everybody does. And instead of signing the promissory note, all you have to do is say, thank you so much. I will wait for my payment or something like this, you know? They're waiting for that signature of yours, literally. Because like I told you in a couple videos back, it depends on how we sign our name is what they add to the back of our name. So if you guys are buying homes recently and, you know, promissory notes or somebody's promised something or other to you and they've asked you to sign the note, you know, be careful how you sign it. Just pay attention how you sign it. Just don't go put your name on it without saying who you are. So in trust, you are one of 3 people. You are either the grantor or what they call the settler or the creditor, whatever they call that. And you could be the trustee or you can be the beneficiary. So by signing this as a grantor or a trustee, it means that you are taking possession of that certificate and now it belongs to you and you get to move it into your trust. And with that, then they owe you the money because you're holding on to their promissory note.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, all we're trying to do is recover our property and move it back into our trust.
To put it in a nutshell. Trust.
Right.
Trust basis. Any man or woman who is capable of taking physical possession of legal title to property can be a trustee. The number of trustee in your trust is unlimited. Trustees. If more than one trustee that is named in a trust, they will work together, respect each other, are called co-trustees, and when they come together, it is referred to as the Board of Trustees. There are no laws that prescribe the charter of a trustee.
Okay, so basically all this is saying is if you're 18 years of age and when it's saying legal title, you have a legal title. Your legal title is natural person. So don't start confusing all this. In a trust and trust law, when you work in trust and trust law, you're considered a natural person. You're not considered anything else. And being a natural person takes you back to the Fifth Amendment, where we were always supposed to be. Now, if you want to go out and say, I'm a state national or I'm a living man or woman, now you just put yourself under the 14th Amendment and you're no longer in trust and trust law. So be careful of your titles. I'm just going to say, just be careful of your titles. Really look into it and really dig into it and see if that's what you really want to be. It's all free will, free choice. So choose wisely. Choose wisely is all I've got to say. So as long as I'm accepting my title as natural person or as a trustee of my own trust, then I am able to accept property. I'm able to handle the property that's inside of my trust. I'm able to handle my affairs that are inside of my trust. I'm able to handle my money. I'm able to handle anything and everything inside of my trust because I am a natural person and I literally have accepted my title of who I am, a natural person, a trustee, and I am taking care of my business in the private.
Okay. I don't know why people can't get that video on YouTube. It's just crazy. Panel 11. A trust is not invalid due to the incompetence of a trustee. When selecting your trustees for the trust, it is necessary to choose a person that is capable and fit to execute the power and duties as a trustee with honor. As a general rule of the trust, a beneficiary is not a desirable person to name as a trustee. There are no laws to forbid such an appointment. Reread that. As a general rule of a trust, a beneficiary is not a desirable person to name as a trustee. There are no laws to forbid such an appointment. So basically, the trustee and the beneficiary.
You know why they say that? Do you know why they say that?
Who's
Because
that?
normally your beneficiaries are people that are too young to literally be a trustee. Or there's somebody you don't really want to be a trustee. It could be a best friend that you want to benefit something to them or give them something when you're gone. So that's why this is so confusing, is because you might have a whole lot of beneficiaries in your trust that you might donate one item to or two items to or a few things to them, or, you know, give them a few things. And are they really desirable to be your trustee? No, they're not.
Right. Okay. The trustee should live within the jurisdiction of the court of equity where the estate is located. This applies if the trust corpus is in ESTTE.
Oh, in a state. It's STATE. Okay, in a state, STATE, not a state, a state. Yeah, ESTATE. Okay, into an estate.
All
Yeah.
right, there we go. State of being. If the trust corpus is portable or movable land, it is not necessary the trustee live within the jurisdiction of the court of equity. All right.
Okay, so basically what it's saying is if you own quite a bit of land in one state and your trustee lives in another state, it's not a good idea. The trustee should live in the same state as where the land is or where the affairs are. Now, portable, when it's saying portable land, that means movable land. So what is movable land? Motor homes or something that, you know, all these little new caravans and what do they call tiny homes or little tiny homes? You can, you know, roll down the road with a tiny home on the back of the truck and set it up somewhere and live somewhere in a tiny home. These are called movable properties. These you can move anywhere, so you don't have to live in the state where it's sitting because it moves along with you.
Right. Okay.
Isn't that what they're called? Tiny homes or mini homes, tiny homes?
They have many names. Some of them are called RVs, fifth wheels, campers.
No, I'm literally talking about a house. It's called a mini house or a mini home.
Yeah,
And
well,
it's
we have
like
them.
on wheels. Yeah, and
Yeah.
people can move them from one place to another.
Yeah, we call those mobile homes. Yeah,
Even though it's a house, I know what a mobile home is. I know what I know what an RV is and a mobile home. But you know, everywhere I've seen them, they're called mini homes or little homes.
Yeah, we have tiny homes, tiny houses.
Yeah, tiny homes, tiny houses.
You can buy one on
These little tiny houses that are rollable down the road. You can pick them up and roll them down the road to wherever you want to go.
All right. Okay. Well, there you go. Movable land. Portable, movable land.
Exactly. That's what they are.
Yeah. All right. When appointing your trustee, the letter should be formal and presented to the trustee to sign and accept the appointment. Once the trustee has accepted the appointment as a trustee of the trust, no court of common law or equity can prevent the trustee from holding this office or performing the duties of a trustee. A trustee may have issue performing his or her duties as trustee if the trust instrument is not written correctly. A trustee can fail at his or her duties or be at risk of breach by failure to perform when a trust instrument has not been constructed, or when a trust instrument has been constructed poorly.
So you guys, this is what the whole thing is. In a trust, you literally are going to have to tell the trustee what their duties are. It's all laid out. You know, the trustee has the right of taking care of this property, paying the property taxes. It has the right to sell property. It has the right to, you know, buy property. It has the right to lease. It has the right, whatever you want the trustee to do or whatever you would do, you have to literally put it inside your trust. So it has to be stipulations inside the trust corpus for the trustee to be able to do these type of things. So just be careful when you're writing your trust. Remember, in a revocable trust or even in a trust we're working on now, express trust, implied trust, we can modify, we can amend our trust. If we messed up and we didn't think about something, we can add it, we can amend it, and we can write the dates in it. And then that means that it goes into the minutes of the trust. This was amended on this day, that was amended on that day, things like this. So just be careful what you're doing when you're writing the trust so that you do not put your trustee at risk. And remember who the trustee is, you guys, it's gonna be you. So think about how you want to do business and how you want to give it. And then think about when you're sick or you need to bring somebody else in. What do you want them to do? This is how it works.
There you go. All right. Of course, I got 10 things going on at once. As a trustee, you have a duty of care towards the beneficiaries of this trust. A trustee must never harbor biases or resentment when administrating his or her duties as a trustee. The trustee must use his or her discretion when carrying out duties.
His duties.
His or her duties to the best of his or her abilities and responsibilities outlined in the trust. The grantor or settler of the trust must have confidence in the trustee to carry out his or her duties and use his or her powers justly in performing his or her obligations as the trustee of the trust.
Okay, so in a lot of trusts, especially if the grantor's dead and one of the trustees was named as the executor or the administrator, and they take over the office and they're doing a really bad job. They're letting all kinds of bias, all kinds of, past family dramas, get inside the middle of, just settling affairs and how it's supposed to be. So there is remedies in court if this happens. But what you guys have got to do is you're going to be the trustee of the trust until something happens to you. So pick somebody that doesn't have family drama or family dynamics. I call it family dynamics. So we want to stick away from family dynamics, family drama when we're choosing somebody. And this might be that maybe there's too much drama inside your family for your affairs and your trust and everything else when it ends. Maybe you might have to get somebody from the outside that can, have a non-biased relationship and just handle the affairs correctly. Maybe you can allow somebody who's inside your family to handle it. But whatever you do, you have to choose wisely.
There you have it. Sage advice, choose wisely. All right, here we go with the summary. Here we are learning how to draft and express trust and what is needed to create a trust that will be easy for a trustee to follow and carry out his or her duties. The body of the trust, or the trust corpus, is the heart of the trust. In the body of the trust, this is where we name our trustees, their duties, what powers they have, and how we want them to execute our trust.
So guys, it's really simple. Sit down. There's a lot of things out there right now on the internet that, are planning guides or, just like spreadsheets that come up and say, what do you have? What do you own? Think about that. Just what you want to do. Because remember, this is like your last goodbye, or actually it's your way to live and survive inside the privacy. So figure out your privacy and how you want to keep your private life private, and you don't want it out in the public. Then as soon as you start getting older, literally sit down and figure out who's going to be able to handle all of it when you can no longer handle it. Who are you going to allow to be your power of attorney? If you get really sick, what are you going to give them as power of attorney? Medical, survival, what are you going to do? And then it's an estate planning, guys. I know when we're all looking at it, well, I'm only 25 years old. Do I really need this? Or I'm only 32 years old. Do I need this? Oh, I've got plenty of time ahead of me. Well, guys, let me tell you that plenty of time. Seriously, I used to be the same way. Who cares? I don't need to plan for retirement. I got 40 some odd years left to work, next thing you know, those 40 some odd years are gone and you're like, wow, where did it go? So try to get it done before it's too late. That's all I can say.
Yeah, one day you wake up and you're like, I'm 60. How the hell did I make it to there? And you start
I didn't think I'd make it past 25,
Yeah, and you start qualifying for senior citizen discount. What the fuck just happened? How'd that happen? What? Okay. Panel 15. As a trustee of a trust, you have the power to issue share of the certificates, issue share of the capital interest certificate, engage in contract, handle the financial needs of the trust in the interest of the beneficiary, sign trust account checks, make deposits to the trust. The duties of the trustee can be extremely difficult in the grant if the grantor or the settlor does not draft the trust instrument correctly. As a trustee of the trust, you have the power to make decisions for the trust. You must always carry out your duties as a trustee with honor and consider the welfare of the trustee. So basically right here in this first paragraph, you're laying out
So basically we're the trustees for, yeah.
Go ahead.
I think we're freezing up again. Okay. So basically, basically what we're getting at, your internet connection is unstable. Okay, somebody's unstable on this. So what we're basically looking at is we need to make our lives easy. We need to figure out what we're going to do to make our life easy and how we're going to handle this. So we just need to sit down and write it all out. And basically what a lot of this is dealing with is irrevocable trust. When we first write our irrevocable trust, these are more complicated. Express trust and revocable trust are easier to work with and handle. It's the irrevocable trust that is a lot more complicated to work in. So until you guys get used to working in trust, I would suggest to always use express and revocable trust. Remember, you can only have one revocable trust, but you can have many express trusts. So try dealing with a few express trusts and one revocable trust in the beginning, and then decide what assets you really want to pass down to your beneficiaries and you really want to lock them up. Then move those assets into the irrevocable trust, because irrevocable trust, you're going to need somebody else to run it. You're not going to have a say-so in that one. Your only say-so is when you build the trust.
That might be like a one-shot class, advanced class. You know what I mean? After after they played around with it a little bit and got some experience and a little swagger under the belt.
Yeah. Irrevocable trusts are, in my books, they're necessary, especially if you have a lot of land and you own businesses, you have a lot of, stocks, bonds, whatever you have, seriously, and you want to preserve it for your family, your beneficiaries when you're no longer here. Keeping it in a revocable trust is a good idea. But if it's, I would say if it's property that you're buying and selling to turn a profit on, to make money to put into the revocable trust and hold your assets, then I would, put that in your revocable trust, because then you can move in and out assets in and out of the trust. Okay. It's pretty simple, I guess. Or it sounds simpler than what you guys are doing or whatever.
Yeah. That's the art of the orator, to be able to make it sound very simple when it's actually not. Anyway, here's the in this event, this is going to be altered up. So we're going to do 4 classes. We're going to double headers on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Class 1 and 2, 3 and 4 will be the following Saturday and Sunday. So it'll be, we'll add on to this.
There's a lot of documents, guys. I mean, seriously, in the second class, there's a whole entire trust package. I mean, I'm talking about a trust package. It is your irrevocable trust. I mean, your revocable trust. It's your letters. It's your certificates. It's all your information to go to the bank, to set up your bank accounts. It's everything that you need to set up a trust. And I think there's 18 documents. What was it, like 17 or 18 documents in that package? The next class deals with another huge package of 18 pages. And these 18 pages deal with property, transfers of property, transfers of wages into the trust, all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot of documentation in what you guys are going to need to run the trust. So it's a really good, 2 days to go through all of this. So you'd have the introduction to go through everything that we're needing. We'll have 2 days of going through all of our trust documents and how our documents are going to be working and how we're going to be using them. And then from there, we will have the final day, which means that you guys are going to be able to, we'll be able to work through some of the problems that you're having. And we're going to, go into executors, what happens when you're not here, and give us some, final decisions on how you want to look into your trust, how you want to look at it, how you want to do things with it.
Okay. Well, there you go.
There will be some extra letters coming in on the fourth class. These are like from executors' offices. These will be what the executor will use when the grantor and the trustee are no longer there. So we will go into a little bit on what executors do and how they handle the trust and how they handle everything when the grantor and the trustee are gone.
That's like almost 40 different documents in the package.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they, whether they're NDAs or whatever. Huh. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of documents, guys. I mean, I put together a full-blown trust. Documents, templates.
Worth every penny, believe me. Every penny. All right, we got to go over here. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think that should do it. We are on number 11, so we're almost halfway through the 24. We should be able to get through number 12, hopefully by the end of this week. And then we'll be halfway through our series of 24. And then we'll start, counting down.
Okay. All right. Did you want to mention that thing that we opened with that we didn't record when we first started conversing? You know what I'm talking about?
I want to make sure that I got it in the bag tomorrow, maybe the next one. I know I have it in the bag because I read the record. Read the document. I'm worried about reading the document because I'm dying to see that one. I think I'll keep that as a secret until the next one.
Okay. Works for me. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this class. Did you want to do another video, or you just want to wait till tomorrow and start earlier?
I do have, let's do it tomorrow and start earlier because I still have to write up some more. I still have to get, caught up from the last 2 weeks, and I still have to get some more, stuff prepared for the next couple videos.
Yeah. Easy. You know that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And
okay, guys.
Yeah, hopefully everything will be set up so it'll be automated for them to pay.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep. All right, Ann. Thank you again, man, for everything. You're just golly.
Sure.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
It's good to see you guys again. Talk to you soon. Gotta run.
Everybody wave. You make her disappear. Alakazam.
Bye-bye.
And there she goes. Like that. Okay, kids. That's 11 in the books. You heard it. Tomorrow we will be shooting for episode 12 in the video series, Ann LeFlore on Trust. Absolutely. FearlessFloydShow.com. I will get this little software program all set up to where, boom, you go to my website and everything will be automated. You'll be able to schedule consultations, join classes, and if I run, hopefully if I've got it down, you'll be able to purchase apparel and other items. Hopefully, if I can get it, everything automated. So leave a comment below what you thought about this video, or if you have any questions or anything like that. You know, there always is the Fearless Floyd Show on Telegram, as well as Rumble and BitChute. Absolutely. Thank you for watching this video. Can't wait. You know, we're going to do number 12 tomorrow. And man, this is just getting really exciting. There's news, but I can't tell you. And, you know, just don't take by the look on my face what that news might be. So, yeah. And with that, hit that like, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell if you want to know when I put out new videos, share it as always. Fearless Floyd Show, yahoo.com. If you want to try to email me, Telegram's the best way to contact me. Thank you again for hanging out on me on this Tuesday night. I'm going to get this up to you guys because I know y'all are clawing and scratching and screaming and throwing pitchforks and rocks and rotten tomatoes and eggs and everything else, Ann and I, to get this video to you. So without further ado, here comes 11.